Okay, a little bit about managing workflow, contractor invoicing, and photo documentation. Again, we have some photographs. We did a good job at the trash out. We had a bunch of stuff that was left over. We could have done a little better. We could have done a lot better with the date stamped digital photographs, and we could have done a lot better again by taking those photos from the same angle. I point that out because now you can see in this particular room, is it obvious this is the same room? Okay, look at the particulars for each image, and you'll see, okay, is it really the same room? Could someone who's never been to this house tell that? So that's what you want to make sure. A little bit about debris. This is one of the AMS trucks that we use. We have a 14-foot by 5-foot by 8-foot box on the back. Okay, that's going to give you about 20 cubic yards. Here's a 20-yard roll-off box. Again, probably similar dimensions. This is a good time for me to remind everybody that although this photo does document a certain amount of debris, we want to make sure we're documenting the debris as we found it at the property. So I know I sound like a broken record with some of this stuff, but these fundamentals are crucially important. Okay, typical sided trailer that would hold 16 cubic yards. We also have a smaller trailer, a 10-foot trailer and a truck bed. That's typical for 15 cubic yards. Okay, invoicing. We do get a lot of questions about invoicing. Okay, there's no need for one of AMS's contractors to submit their own invoice. EMS is actually going to track your work orders from the time that it's issued to the time that you actually complete it with your PDF photographs. So when you upload photographs to that work order, that's the time it'll be completion. Okay, at the end of every month, work orders are totaled for that month. Invoices, which are also known to AMS as audits, will be sent to each contractor within the prescribed payment window. Okay, what is the payment window? I'm going to refer everybody to the subcontractor agreement. It was on page 1 of the actual agreement, and you're going to see 2 paragraphs. One refers to net 15, the other net 45. That should be in your AMS file, so you can refer back to that. So that covers that part of it, and that's going to conclude the actual PowerPoint part of the slideshow. I do want to cover a little bit about EMS, EMS2 more in particular, and how that works. So I'm going to actually escape out of here, and I'm going to go over to my web browser, and that's my account. So here's my test contractor account. So when every vendor logs into EMS, this is the screen that you will see. And I do have a bunch of questions, or not bunch, but I get some questions. It's like, we signed in, we didn't see any work orders. Those of you that have been working with AMS for a long time, one of the primary differences I'd like to point out is that your work orders will no longer fall directly onto your home screen. So I recommend that everybody, when they check in, when they're checking to see if they have work orders, they're checking to see what's still open, you want to click on this Open Work Orders link on your home screen. Okay, and that's going to bring me to my Open Work Orders. And it looks like I got a couple here that I have yet to do. So we have one at 2807 15th Ave, 220 Rittenhouse Circle, and 1831 Lark Lane. And these I've uploaded some of my PDFs too. So another question that we do get quite often, and I wanted to show everybody, and I'm going to go slow, is, well, how do we close these work orders? We go out, we do the work, and we understand that the date stamped digital photographs, they were absolutely critical, and we want to make sure that we get our work orders done on time because we know that's important. How do we do it? So I'm actually going to walk you through the process now. I have a cleaning initial work order for 220 Rittenhouse Circle. Now, I've already actually gone and done this, but I'll show all the our new vendors where to go this. I'm going to go to qpdf.com, and this website actually offers a free version of PDF photo conversion software. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to convert all of our photographs to a PDF. Okay, so about a third of the way down the page, you can click on this free download portion. It's ready for Windows 7. When you click that, it's actually going to open up the dialog box, and it's going to start to install the program on your computer with your permission. Now, once you download the program and get it installed, it's going to give you instructions on how to use it as well. But I also like to point out at this time that QPDF doesn't operate like a normal Windows program. Like I had to open up Internet Explorer to be able to show you this page. PDF works more like a printer. So it's always there, it's always running in the background, it's always available for you to use after you boot up your computer. So if I come up here, I didn't need to do anything with QPDF. When I go to print, it's going to bring me to my printer dialog box, and there in my printers I have QPDF Writer. And I'm going to show you how this works in a minute, but I just wanted to point out that it works like a printer, not quite like one of the other programs that you use on your machine. So I'll go back to my open work orders, and I still have this 220 Rittenhouse Circle work order open. So I'm going to go over to my desktop, and I'm going to look. Okay, I got my sample photographs. I'm going to open this up. It's not letting me. Hang on just a minute. Okay, well, we'll keep going then. Alright, so we'll go back to our work orders. There we go, just a little delay. Okay, finally opened for me. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay, and I already have some PDFs in here that I've done as examples, but if I'm going to hold the control button down and I can click multiple images, and you can see I'm going to take that one. Now I'm selecting different images by actually holding down the control button and clicking on them. I'm going to right click, I'm going to go to print. So it's going to ask me, those are the photographs I want to convert to a PDF. Again, I go into my printer dialog box, the drop down menu, QPDF is ready to go. So I'm going to select that. Okay. Now, we want to make sure that we're going down to wallet-sized images. Okay? Main reason being is we want to keep these files fairly small. We want to document the work that was done, but we also want to keep the file small. There is a 10 megabyte maximum for EMS2, so we want to make sure that your file sizes aren't going over 10 megabytes. The other way this will help you is this is going to be able to minimize the amount of time you're transmitting data to EMS. So if your files are smaller, and I don't want to tell you, I want to make sure that you have adequate date stamped digital photographs to document the work that was done, but you want to make sure that we're not uploading 200, 300, 400 pictures. That's too many. Typical initial services, roughly about 100, depending on the property, sometimes more, sometimes less. So I'll hit next. We're actually brings up this, so I'll put in 220 Rittenhouse, and maybe I'll call it debris, so I know this is my debris photographs. I'm going to save that there, finish, and it's going to take just a minute to actually populate in this window. Okay, here we go. There it was, popped right up. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go to Add Attachment. Okay, and this brings up the dialog box. So I'm going to do my initial clean. Okay, there's my PDF I just made from multiple photographs, 220 Rittenhouse debris. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to make sure I put in today's date, and I'm going to select Upload. Okay, and that's going to transmit for just a second. Okay, the thing that you want to look for is upload complete. Okay, that's what's going to tell you the data has been transferred. And I'm actually going to X out of this dialog box, and for those of you who are looking in the background, you also saw a link pop up here on my screen. Now you have initial cleanout photos for this particular property. Okay, so when I'm done, if that's my only work order for that property, I'm going to click the checkbox next to it, and I'm actually going to go ahead and say accept and complete accepted. I'm going to click here, and my work order will be complete. So that's about all we have for the webinar this evening. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We certainly do enjoy these, and we'll be having more in the future. We will let everybody know when we're going to be having another one. So if you had staff that couldn't attend this evening, we'll be putting another one on later on. So with that being said, again, thanks for everybody for joining us. That concludes this evening's Working with AMS webinar.